So, hello to everyone. Today, I wanna share with you this new deck. This new version of my deck, Curienought. This is the version 7.1. I got a 501 result in my last monthly tournament here in Granada. It was a small tournament, but I think that players are pretty good there. So I think this result is give us an idea of how good this deck is. This deck is for sure is not a tier 0 because Reanimator and Eldrazi and Mystic Forge combo is way better. But for a Dreadnought deck, I think is pretty good. Actually, for my experience, I think this deck is this version of the deck is the best one so far. So first of all, I want to go to the normal stuff of the deck. So as you can see, 4 Dreadnoughts with 3 Temios, 4 Curies. I will explain later why I keep 4 and not 3. 3 Doorkeeper Thrall. Also, I want to explain why I'm playing right now Thrall, I wasn't playing earlier. 3 Oculus. The same Brainstorm Ponder, Stifle. As I already said, I prefer Stifle over Consign to Memory because I think that at MTGO it could be a good idea to play the Consign to Memory, but when you are playing in a paper tournament with a lot of different rounds and decks, Stifle is way better because you can stifle fetch lands and so on. So I think that maybe in a more narrow meta, a Consign to Memory is better, because if you are going to see a lot of Eldrazi's and Mystic Forge combo, I think that Consign to Memory is way better. But Stifle is better for like the wider range of meta game. So yeah, that's why I think I'm playing 4 Stifle and not 3 Stifle, 1 Consign to Memory. The idea of going Stifle plus Wasteland to my opponent's land is super good, and I have won a lot of games just by doing that. So that's why I think Stifle is a 4 off, and maybe in a future, if Eldrazi's stay the same, they don't ban any cards, and Mystic Forge combo is super crazy, I will start playing Consign to Memory on my main board. But I think that for now there are a lot of tournaments that I didn't see any Mystic Forge, or maybe one Eldrazi somewhere, but that's why I think Stifle is better for now. Swords, white removal is way better than black, and as you can see right now we are not playing Frog, so that's why blue white is the way to go. 3 Daisies, I keep the Sink into Stupor, I think it's super good, because it can help you like in all ground, maybe in almost every deck is good, because you can bounce any creature or permanent, like whatever, like a Chalice or whatever, or maybe an Snaring Bridge. So that's why I think it's like a must to have a bouncer in your main board. This card, Mistress Bubble, is a new idea, because as you can see on lands we are playing right now Urza Saga, and sideboard right now it's not like perfect. I think that we can do more improvement here on the sideboard, but right now this sideboard is just like an idea and how I play it on the last tournament. So I want to start right now by talking about the Saga. So as you can see, this mana base is a little bit more spicy than the last one, because right now we are playing 5 colorless lands, but we are playing only 2 colors, and our 2 colors mana, it's only like a blue colorless, white colorless, blue colorless, and so on. So that's why having Tundra plus Wasteland or Tundra plus Saga, you can play every card of the deck. So that's why it's working, and also by this is helping a lot, and this is also helping a lot. So why Saga? So I think that Saga is one card that has like a crazy super high ceiling with Dreadnought, because it's like having more Dreadnoughts in your deck. You don't have to waste Brainstorm and Ponder to search for Dreadnought because you have the Saga. So Saga by its own, it's like 2 creatures. It's applying pressure, and also helps us with finding our Dreadnought. So as you can see, this deck is going like super heavy on the Dreadnought idea, not like the last one, which was an Esper build with frogs, which you have like that plan B, no, with frog. In this case, it's almost like an all-in on Dreadnought. You have Oculus, but it's almost like an all-in. Why I'm doing this? Because right now I think that the meta it's super fast. It's like you have an Eldrazi and they are killing your land, so you have to go like super fast and try to deploy your Dreadnought as fast as possible. Nadu, if you give them more draws, you are giving them more opportunities to protect their combo. Mystic Force combo, you have like 3 turns. If not, you are dead. Reanimator, they are also super fast. So that's why I think we have to also try to go faster, because our cards are not as good as theirs. So we want to also go faster. Saga is doing pretty well with Dreadnought, because you can search the Dreadnought, but it's also really good with Tamiyo, because Tamiyo deploys clues. Clues are artifacts for your constructs. So if you go turn 1 Tamiyo, turn 2 Saga, your constructs are like 7/7 and bigger. Also, is Saga plus Kuri is these 2 cards do something that you cannot do even on Vintage with 2 other cards. So Kuri plus Saga means that if you go turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Kuri, turn 3 search for the Dreadnought, attack, but just having 3 cards in your hand, 2 of them are lands and 1 is Kuri. Only with those 3 cards you are able to deal 12 damage and 12 cards. So that is huge, and only by the cost of 2 mana, because if you want to play your Kuri with the Dreadnought, you need 3 mana. And that is pretty important, because there are some times that if you try to go off on turn 3 with Kuri turn 2 and then on turn 3 deploy your mana, 1 mana for a Dreadnought, 2 mana to try to copy, then you are tapped out for the 12 cards that you draw. and that is pretty important because maybe you need to sort something, or you need to stifle something, or you need to play around days, whatever, or maybe you want to wasteland them. So making the combo but by just 2 mana is pretty good. Also, Saga plus Doorkeeper Thrall is pretty good because Doorkeeper Thrall. So I didn't like Thrall that much because, first of all, we are not playing Null Drifter, so I think they are way better cards to deploy Dreadnought than Thrall. By the differences, and also which I don't like about Thrall is like an stifle in in card advantages, because if you go stifle plus Dreadnought and they go fatal push, you are 1 card down. And if you go with Doorkeeper Thrall plus Dreadnought and they fatal push your Doorkeeper Thrall, you are 2 cards down. So that's one of the main reasons I don't like Thrall. But as I told you, right now the meta is super fast, so we don't want cards that are stable. For example, dress down. As you can see here, there are no dress downs. There is one on the sideboard, because we want to play like faster and in like a more stable way, but not by drawing more cards. I want a permanent that I can keep on the battlefield, that if I top deck a Saga or if I top deck a Dreadnought, I can deploy them. Also, there are pretty good combos here, because you can go turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Curi. If they fatal push your Curi, you can play the Doorkeeper Thrall to search with the Saga your Dreadnought. So that is pretty good, because you have like two ways to make the Saga good. It's the same as Dress Down, but the idea of deploying Construct with the Saga is worse with the idea of Temio and putting on the battlefield more clues. And also Dress Down is only for 1 turn. Doorkeeper Thrall is, if they don't kill them, it's like for more time. Also, Doorkeeper Thrall is pretty good in the meta right now, because you can turn off the Miracle of Reanimator. You can turn off one part of the Flesh Breaker, the second part, that when a creature enters the battlefield does 12 damage, because it's a creature entering the battlefield. Also, it's pretty good against Doomsday and Cephalids and so on. So it's not good only for our deck, it's also good for making having cards that are good at the current meta. And Oculus is also good with Saga, because Saga counts like 2 mana for the Oculus, because Saga, you float 1 mana, you put it on the graveyard, you search for the Mithras Bubble, you sacrifice the Mithras Bubble, and then you deploy the Oculus. So having Fetch Land plus Survey Land plus Saga plus Mithras Bubbles make like more probable that you have enough cards in your graveyard, because Oculus doesn't need instants or sorceries that Murktide, for example. You only need cards. So this is plus 2 cards, and fetch plus Survey Land is also like a plus 2 cards on your graveyard. So just by playing Ponder and Daze, for example, you have everything that you need to deploy your Oculus on turn 3. So yeah, the idea of this deck is going faster. as I told you, it's a little bit more less stable because you don't have the dress down. So there are a lot of times that you want to go for dress down at the end of turn, draw an extra card, and then play your ponder, search for your dreadnought, and deploy the dreadnought, for example. With Thrall, you don't have that. But because you have more saga, you don't need this draw to try to find your dreadnought. No? Because you have the saga. So it's like this deck is like having 6 dreadnoughts on the main board. So now I have here on my table, I'm going to change the camera. I have here my deck, and I want to show you just a few hands of how I will play, because I don't have right now MTGO, so I cannot show you the deck at MTGO. Also, I have to say that this 5-0 that I made this weekend, one of my friends recorded on video, so I will be able to show you three of my games playing this deck, so you can see if it's good or not. So yeah, I'm gonna change the camera. So here you have my deck. By the way, this I I altered this Force of Will. I mean 4 of them that I have. Also, I want to show you that I don't have my Surveil land here, because I give it to one of my friends to sign it at Prague. So I'm gonna use this luck counter. Okay. So let's try a few hands just to see how the decks perform. Just to see if it's powerful or not. Let's see if we are lucky. Okay, I'm not. This hand is pretty good, because we can try. Also, one really good thing about this deck right now is that we can play almost with one Iceland with almost no issue, because we don't need our black. So there is, for example, in this hand, we can go for Iceland Ponder maybe. But for example, if we are on the play, I will go for Iceland Tamio, because we have our days to protect the Tamio, and then we give us more turn to play the Ponder, because this Ponder is really important to try to search for the second land. Once we have the second land, we are good to go. Also, as you can see, let me go again to here. We are playing right now 2 Icelands on the main, so this make our mana base a little bit more stable against Wastelands. And I'm playing 1 Plains on my sideboard for the same reason, to play around Wasteland and Blood Moon. So yeah, let me go again from here. I want to shuffle this just to, I mean, I will keep that in a tournament, but I want to try to search a hand with Saga. Maybe we can try to search one, so we can see if it's powerful or not. Okay. Okay, in this situation is like, maybe I will try to mulligan. But for example, just imagine that this is like another land, for example, another Tundra. This hand is not good. So Saga makes things go better. Let's try if we can do something with this. So let's say that we are on the play, just play the Tundra, go, draw. We draw an Iceland, maybe we can daze our opponent played, or maybe sort the creature. Here I will go for the Iceland that we draw to make our Saga better just by waiting a few turns. We have our force plus days plus sword, so we are not worried about almost anything. We draw another swords, then I'll play our saga. This is like the same situation. Maybe if our opponent do something to make us lose these cards, for example. Then pass, draw. This was another land, it's okay. But we can go to make our construct, untap, draw, make our construct, search for, and then go for the missions bubble to have like a 6 power creatures on the battlefield. And we also have protection. It will depend that if we played last turn our swords or maybe our days, instead of trying to put construct, we can put these days plus swords on the graveyard to play our Oculus. This hand was not that good because we didn't draw any of our enablers. Also, we didn't draw any Tamio, any Ponder, but as you can see, Saga makes that hand better. If we didn't have the Saga on that hand, that would be like a mulligan for sure. Because we didn't make pressure, because we cannot deploy our Oculus, and force plus days didn't do anything. This hand is like the problem of having Saga and 5 colorless lands, because we draw our wasteland, so this will be a mulligan. Let's see, 3/3. Okay, for example, this hand. Let's think that we already go for the mulligan. So I will mulligan for sure for a Dreadnought because we have the Saga. So just imagine that we are, for example, playing against Mystic Forge combo, because we know it, maybe because it's like game 2 or wherever. Then we go for Saga on turn 1. They will play their first turn, for example. Maybe they go for the Monolith or whatever, or Vexing Bubble. Draw. The Saga will be on 2. Play our land. Search. Play Curienought. For example, with Iceland, they don't have Wasteland, but we can go for the Iceland. They can play Fleshbreaker and so on. Then we draw, untap, float 1 mana, search. We search for our Dreadnought. And with the mana that we have, plus blue, we copy. And then go for the attacks. Attack and draw 12. So now we have everything that we need. Stifles, force, stifle, more stifles, lands. If we check this hand without Saga, it was impossible to do this. It was impossible to deal 12 damage and draw this many cards on this fast, because we didn't draw, for example, our land. These lands were from these 12. Okay, let's search for another hand. For example, if we know that we are maybe against like let's see that right now we are playing against like a more fair deck, no? 3. Let's see, Curie. This hand is super good. This hand is good. So just let's imagine that we are playing more like in against something like a more fair game, maybe against Nadu or whatever, and we know it. We can, because we have our Curie plus Doorkeeper, we can go for the Saga. If you want, let's do that just because you can see also Days plus Curie plus Doorkeeper is super great, because we can go Saga on turn 1, then draw from the turn, Saga on turn 2. I will go for the Chandra. Play Curie. They play Sword to Plowshares. Sword to Plowshares. Draw before Saga. Doorkeeper. Search. Dreadnought. Wasteland you. And that's all. So in this situation, we have threatening Doorkeeper plus Dreadnought with Days backup, and we already deal them with one Wasteland, so they have how many lands? They have 1 land. So Days is pretty good. And this is also possible because Saga. Let's play another hand. I mean, here I can go like forever. Let's play a few more hands. If not, I will search for a Temio hand so you can see how good it is. Okay. I'm gonna do this, okay? just to try a little bit more normal hand. Okay, this is a little bit better. So as I have already tell you, we can go more in like a fair matchup. We can go Chandra plus Temio. If they go for Force or Fatal Pulse or whatever, it's okay. Let's imagine that they don't. I mean, it's okay if they go 1 for 1. It's okay because we already have our pressure in hand. So let's say that they don't. If we untap draw, we can go for the Saga. 1, attack, make our clue. In this situation, if we are playing more like against a combo, we can try to go for our Ponder. If not, we can crack our clue. Let's say that we know that we are more against like a combo deck or whatever. I will go for the Ponder before playing that. Let's see, we didn't find anything for going like Stifle and Force of Will or Days or whatever. I will shuffle. And tap and draw. Curie is pretty good because we are going to play Wasteland next turn. We pass the turn, then on tap, 2, on tap draw, Dreadnought. And here we can start thinking about maybe we want to go for Wasteland and play Curie. So we can go off next turn. Or maybe we want to just start putting applying pressure with clues. Just imagine that we are playing against something that is very heavy removal, right? So in that case, I will try to make them lose all the Sword to Plowshare or Fatal Push or whatever. So I will start deploying more construct, so they have to waste the removal on the construct. And then on the next turn, once the Saga it's gone and we already draw the card with Mishra's Bubble, then I will play Curie with 2 Dreadnoughts. If not, let's say that we want to go for the construct. Then on tap draw, land. This is pretty good, and we can count. Not now, but we can go for another construct. This is applying a lot of pressure because we already attacked next turn, so this is like this. I will search with the Saga. I will search for Mishra's Bubble. Also, if I want to go like that, maybe I will play this last turn to wasteland them right now. But as you can see here, we can attack with this one and this one, make a clue, and right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are attacking for 6. So, as I already told you, if we are not playing the saga, maybe we was in a different situation with one mana, maybe this one. This construct were not here, this Misra Power was not here, and we already play our Kuri. So if they just go for force, for fatal push or whatever, we will stay like this. So as you can see, it's a pretty big difference. Let's play another hand. Also, saga from the top is not that bad. I was playing before, like 1 year ago, a saga version with Uro, but because we weren't having Oculus. So the situation right now is that if we don't have the Oculus, is like the final part of the curve. As you can see on the last game that we simulate, we first of all make our construct so they can die with the removal, then play our Kuri if they have the next removal. That if not, Oculus is going to win the game because you are applying a lot of pressure each turn, and if you have any Dreadnoughts on top, you're gonna win from there. 3, 3. Oh, this is a really bad luck. We only have 3 wasteland and we already draw 2 of them. This didn't happen. This does not happen to me on on tournaments. Let's see. Okay. In this case, for example, I will go a little bit more slow, because if I go for like saga on turn 1 plus land plus Kuri, if we want to daze, we are not going to be able to copy the Dreadnought. So in this case, for example, we can try to go for more in like a slower game plan. I will go for land of the turn go. If we need to play our swords, I will play. If not, I will search for our survey land. This is our survey land, okay? So let's see. Days, we don't want this. And draw, brainstorm, okay. Now I will deploy saga plus Kuri. Here, for example, if they go for frog, for example, and whatever, it's really good for us because we have our swords to swords. If, for example, they go for any type of removal or whatever, just let it resolve. And on tap, plus draw. This Chandra is pretty good from the top. Now we have the possibility that, let's say that we are in a rush, we are maybe out of time in the clock or whatever, and we want to make the game faster. We can try to play brainstorm to search for another Kuri or Doorkeeper Thrall to deploy the Dreadnought, or maybe we can go slowly, play our Tundra and pass the turn, making our opponent to waste resources on dealing with the construct of the saga, then drawing card from the Mishra's bubble, and then starting from there. Let's say that we are on a rush, okay? So I will play our brainstorm on the main phase. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is good. Let's say that I want to put my Tundra, for example, my swords here. Then, for example, I will go for the maybe if I want to untap with the Doorkeeper Thrall, is okay, because for example we want to go for like a double Dreadnought next turn. We can try to do that. We put something like this. So yeah, at the end of the turn, I will deploy the Doorkeeper, untap, draw, and here we can use our brainstorm with the search. So I'm gonna do that. Brainstorm 1, 2, 3. Curie is pretty good to defend our Dreadnought. If not, there is no worries. For example, let's say that these two cards are bad right now. Search 1 mana, play our Dreadnought, and just look at this. Right now we have enough cards in our graveyard to play Dreadnought plus Oculus. Just imagine that this is an Oculus. We can go for land 3 mana Oculus. And I have Doorkeeper plus Dreadnought plus Oculus. That is possible because of the Saga. So right now, let's say that we are in a rush. We want to search for the Dreadnought, go for the Ponder. Stifle is pretty good to defend ourselves also with force, but let's say that we are in a rush. We didn't find it, so we're gonna go for this, playing the Curie. Let's say that our opponent kill it, we already try to force it. On tap, draw, Ponder, 1, 2, 3, shuffle. Ponder, we can sort whatever to make our Curie attack. Draw a card from there. We didn't find the Dreadnought. Untap, draw. But right now, right here, if we draw the Dreadnought, is super good, because let's imagine that this is also like a really good combination with Dreadnought, because we can deploy our Dreadnought and then go for attacks. If our opponent kills when I play the Dreadnought, the Doorkeeper Thrall, I will copy the Curie. If they don't, Dreadnought will enter. Then I will attack. If they try to block it or kill the Curie, Dreadnought can be still alive. If not, on the next turn I will untap with no rush, and then I can go attack with everything. If they try to kill the Dreadnought, I will copy. If they kill the Curie, I just attack with the Dreadnought. So that's pretty good. So as you can see, Saga, let's play one last hand. Saga has like a pretty high ceiling, and also it's like it's super stable. The only issue here is that we have a lot of, we have 5 colorless lands, but as you can see, clues, you can activate them with a colorless. Oculus is only 1 blue mana and 2 colorless. So almost everything in our deck is mono blue or colorless. We don't have mana here. This is only I'm not also shuffling like good, but I'm doing this just to try to see a few situations, so you can see what I will do on a tournament. 3-3. Okay, for example, this hand. Let's say that we don't know what are we playing against. Let's think that this Saga, for example, is like a normal land. For example, like a Tundra or whatever, an Iceland, for example. This hand is not that good. I mean, it's good because we have our Brainstorm, but if our Brainstorm is bad, we are fucked, because this hand is not good. With Saga, make that way way better. So for example here, let's go for this. We already play our mulligan, and we are not that worried about a card disadvantage, because Saga makes card advantage, because we are applying pressure plus drawing one card. So because we have the Mishra's Bubble. So for example, I will put down these swords, because I want, if we don't know what are we playing against, I will keep force like this. So in this case, I will just go for the fetch land go, and in here I will let them to play. If we need to swords, we swords. If we need to force, we force. There is no worry because to force on turn one. Maybe let's think that they try to go for like a chalice on one. Let's say that they are trying to go for chalice on one. I will search on response to for the surveillance, because also Saga is pretty good against chalice on chalice decks. First of all, I will go for the surveillance and see what do we have on top, or maybe we can also go for the brainstorm to try to find more cards. That's true. That is bad for me. Sorry, I will go definitely for the tantrum. Let's play our brainstorm. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's put these two swords on top. Then I will force it. Then I will go to on top, draw. If they go for chalice on one with Ancient Tomb, I will go definitely for the Wasteland, just to waste them. Maybe here they don't have another 2 mana card, so then we can draw, play our Saga, pass the turn. Maybe now they play their Flash Breaker. I will swords, untap, go for 2, draw. I will pass the turn. Maybe right now they go for Thought Not Seer or whatever. That will be huge, because we can play our Doorkeeper Thrall, or maybe we can play Doorkeeper Thrall plus Days. Untap, draw. Here's float 1 mana, Dreadnought. We have 1 mana. Play our Chandra to play Brainstorm to search for another Dreadnought, and we did it. We are lucky. Let's put these 2 on top, and with 1 mana, Dreadnought. This was only possible. I mean, we were lucky, but this was possible because Saga. So that's why I think this deck is like more powerful than the other ones. So yeah, I hope that you like the video. I would like to show you on a future me playing at MTGO, but right now I can't because of my money situation. So I will have to keep doing things like this. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the deck right now. I think that it's pretty powerful. I like a lot the Mishra's Bubble, because I think that helps you to find your lands, to make your surveil land plus fetch way better, to try to find your threat, or if you need your second land. Also Mishra's Bubble plus Temio, I didn't say that, but it's also pretty good, because you can go Temio on turn 1, Mishra's Bubble on turn 1, crack it on your opponent's turn, draw a card on your turn, draw from your turn, and then crack the clue that you deploy on turn 2 with your Temio. So this Mishra's Bubble is like good with almost everything, because also yeah, it also makes Saga good by its own, because if you don't have anything, let's say that you don't have this Mishra's Bubble, you have maybe another days. If you don't have your another artifact, your Saga is not good by its own, and also Temio plus Saga is a little bit worse. And the good idea about this is that Saga replaces itself with 0 cost, and that is pretty important to play your Oculus on that turn, or maybe try to draw something and also playing Ponder, keeping up a Stifle, just being a little bit more mana efficient. As you can see on these games that I show you, the main idea is to be faster, more stable. Yeah, it's like going faster and more stable, and also the mana base is like faster, because you don't need 3 mana to combo with Curie. You don't need 2 mana to deploy 2 Dreadnoughts with the Doorkeeper. You have more spare mana with your Temio. So yeah, I mean, this deck is not perfect. There will be a lot of time that is not very good, or maybe, but you have almost everything to win from almost any spot. Also, this deck is pretty good on late game, because Tamio it's drawing you cards, Curie draws you cards, Oculus deploys more threats, Saga deploys more threats. So this card, this card, this card, and this card are like ways to have more card advantage than your opponent. I mean, to your opponent. So that is pretty good. I'm trying this one, but I don't like it that much. But I want to try to find something that is good for challenge, but is also good for artifacts, but also is good for Eldrazi's, and yeah, and also I don't like that much Path to Exile. But if I can play Prismatic Ending for 3 mana, I will go for more Prismatic Endings, but we can't, because we are a 2 color mana deck. So that's why I'm trying this, and that's why I'm trying this to kill big creatures than like Flashbreaker, for example, maybe, or if we need to, or Thought-Knot Seer, for example, and so on. Also, I like the dress down in the sideboard, because it's good for our Dreadnought. It's also not that bad with Saga, because it's like another 2 mana threat with the Saga. And also it's good for maybe if we want to try to kill an Emrakul with Sword to Plowshares, we can with the dress down. Yeah, also it makes seems that Harbinger of the Seas is bad with Saga, and that's true, but the idea is that we want to play our Saga fast with these cards. So that's why most of the times that you play Harbinger of the Seas, your Saga has already died. So, and if not, we have 1 planes on the sideboard. So it's pretty common that in games that where you want to play Harbinger of the Sea, Saga is bad, so you change your Saga with your planes, for example. This is pretty common with against Wasteland decks. Maybe you don't want that many Sagas. Also, for example, if you are playing, I don't know, maybe, yeah, against a heavy Wasteland deck, you want your planes so you can change the Saga, so you can take our Harbinger inside with no issues. And also the same with Wrath of the Skies. So also Wrath of the Skies plus Saga is a little bit strange, but I think that Wrath of the Skies is pretty good against, I mean, I'm losing 1 card with Saga, that's true. But if I'm playing Wrath of the Skies, means that I'm maybe killing like 3 permanents of my opponent, because I'm playing against Painter. So Wrath of the Skies is huge. Or maybe I am playing against Cradle Control. So Yeah, also I'm trying Hull Breacher, which is also good with Saga. But yeah, I'm not that sure about this card is good or bad or whatever. But yeah, this sideboard, as I told you before, is what I'm trying. I'm thinking right now what to do. Also, Saga is pretty good searching Ghost Vacuum. You can go Saga on turn 1, and then on turn 3 you have your Ghost Vacuum. Let's say that you are against a Reanimator. If you want, if you need to, you have. I mean, it's not the best. It's not the best play, but you can go for turn 1 Saga. Then Days or Force the first Reanimate, and then search with the Saga the Ghost Vacuum. Yeah, I think that is almost all that I have to say. And if I have any update, I will show you in next video. So yeah, hope that you enjoy, and see you in the next video.